This conference will now be recorded. This conference will now be recorded.
So let me show you the body implementation. Yeah. So BRF related baddies, let's say when we say workflow related baddies, we have two sets. One is rule based workflow, another is a static workflow. Here we have something called assign process to a change request step. Like how we assign the user assignment here. For each step, who are the list of users by an org unit we assigned it. This is something comes with a configuration from the HR. But let's say if there are some users who has to add it based on some condition, that's where we implement this baddie.
I think this workflow complete setup will be done by basis, or who will do? Like, see.
No, this is ourselves. Ourselves will do it. Basis is not involved in this. You mean to say this configuration?
N- no, this is the assignment. Okay, no, I'm workflow, like a complete workflow configuration. SW, forgot the T code. The complete workflow. See, we are doing for the BRF. Okay, so but the backend, the workflow is triggering. So the workflow setup.
Workflow setup would be done by basis administrator. They have to create the workflow user and they have to
That
give
you.
RFC, workflow user, relevant roles to the workflow user, RFC connections to the workflow ports, everything basis will do it.
Okay.
Bawa nanti gue, 0707 takut ya.
Okay.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Karthik, one more thing. See, I can say material will be very vast for configuration side. So, could you able to tell related to small configuration like customer? I can say customer or vendor will be the very small configuration side. So, one just like any I'm expecting not expecting in the system, but any real time scenario where okay, what how, for customer configuration, how we have done.
Okay, so I'll tell you the scenario. Just a moment. I'll showcase the current RFP which I'm doing. Okay,
Okay.
give me a second. Hope you're able to see.
Yes, yes, Karthik.
Okay. So from the material master, generally the MDG project implementation lifetime or the complications would be easy compared to customer and vendor. If you take 10 MDG projects,
Mhm.
out of 10, let's say you got MDG as a material. Material is the most easiest process to do. There won't be
Okay.
much complication scenarios
Uh,
there because the material master, it's not from a MDG application, it's from the business perspective.
mhm.
Material team is only interested in seeing the short and long description.
Correct.
That is the complete, whole heart of a material or material department. If the short and long description is being formed properly, then the job is done. The rest of the attributes, will be managed by the superset of users. There is no governance required for the other attributes of metal master. A metal extending to a wrong plant, all these things won't happen in practical. The only possibility of committing a mistake is hitting up a short and long description. That's why the governance is required for material. But coming to vendor or customer, there
Mhm.
are so many parts that request governance. The basic details. Let's say a vendor registration would require a proper details related to email, their VAT registration numbers, commercial registration numbers, vendor name, vendor contact details. Because so many times you might see let's say there is something called say Sahara Limited. Now there is some
Mhm.
Sahara Limited in India, Sahara Limited in Middle East, Sahara Limited in USA as well.
Mhm.
So whether it's there is a branch which is an India sub-entity working in Middle East. Just I'm telling us an example.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So the parent company not belongs to Middle East, but it belongs to India. So they should be
Correct.
mentioning the contact person of the Middle East, but saying it's a entity of India. So all these details are important because if they don't say Sahara India, they will call to a wrong person somewhere in the Middle East.
Correct.
Okay. So all these things would require a micro level management in the customer and vendor masters. So this is something a workflow. This has been designed by me and showcased to the customer. This is how your workflow process will move. Okay.
Okay.
In each step, these are the actions that we will provide to the customer. I mean the end user.
Mhm, mhm. So
And it
it's just a small. This is related to vendor master creation in MDG, correct?
correct.
Okay. So if this is the registration process, from the registration process till the approval, we are doing this activity, workflow trigger. In that one,
Correct.
two, three, four, five. Five levels are there. Then from staging to the in MDG, the data will be get created.
Correct. Okay. So there is one more workflow sheet which I will
No,
show you.
one minute, Karthik. 1 minute. What is the action here? Rollback is there. Like, see, you are doing the complete. Okay, from manager, if it will approve, then the vendor process will start. Vendor requester purchasing SRM. Okay, so email notification will be there. Replication of vendor will be there in the ECC. Then error notification. What is the use of error notification and complete? This I got rollback and error notification. If you can able to suggest.
Yeah, I'll just show that.
This is very one of the clear example what I can now I can tell that okay, this is the one scenario what where we have worked in our project.
Yeah, Karthik, maybe if you can share this, then also this document will be of like help because we can show, okay, yeah, this is what we have done.
Yeah,
Then we
let
can
me.
correlate. Then we can correlate your things like Karthik. Well, like in this, we cannot say that as a AMS we have done some workflow corrections and all that.
Exactly, Karthik. So I think in the mail also, what it's meant, whatever person is written it, that you have showed everything in the class, but these scenarios, like if we interview somebody else, then we can relate this. Okay, in vendor registration, we can follow these steps, and how to do it, we know because you have told in the class. So now we can correlate, and this is the this with this we can say that we have completed like everything, and this I can practice also in the system.
Okay, fine. I'll do it. But these are project related stuff. So definitely, I think you should not actually share it somewhere else. This I generally don't do it. Okay.
Karthik, I'll tell you, like in my scenario, I'm in the middle. Like, see, I left my current position as a lead and I came to MDG. Now
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting from the beginning, okay, in MDG, because technically I'm quite good, but for the MDG functional side, I'm moving. And from past 2 years, I was working MDG issues also, but in a very small level in my projects. But
Mm-hmm.
now, as I moved completely in functional side, so I have to get the complete view. Now if I'll not get the practical knowledge, I cannot able to perform good into my project.
Yeah. So for that, I would also suggest you to to work on the system.
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay.
See,
And
mm,
and
mm.
see. Okay. I'll take that part in a different way. Okay. Let me take that because there are some ways for us to gain the knowledge with the practical examples. I'll show you that well. Okay. So these are vendor related workflows, right?
Correct.
So generally expectation would be, let's say if someone is creating a workflow,
Mhm.
the requester, let's say he is a requester, it goes to the relevant procurement head. So the requester sometimes belongs to um, the scenario is something like, let's say you're working in a company called ABC.
Mhm.
Okay, you belongs to a stationery department. Okay, a person who provides a stationery for the entire office.
Mhm.
Now you knew that a vendor, maybe your relative, your friend, or say a nice guy. He is giving a better rates with a good quality. So you need to raise a new vendor request. Why you want to go with him? Okay.
Correct.
So if you raise a request, you should not immediately go to the purchasing team. It should it should be approved by your team lead in your department. The stationery head will actually review it, and he will consider yes or no. Or sometimes he might reject. It doesn't require a new vendor. Already we're going with an existing vendor. For these reasons, I'm rejecting this reason. So this is somewhere your requester related head will take an action in the second step.
Okay.
The head of the stationery team is agreeing for the new vendor. Now there will be a weightage to that request. it will go to the SRM lead. Now SRM lead will take the email ID from the vendor application. So you guys might have a question like, why you have customer governance. I think we addressed this, right?
Yes.
The difference would be, let's say you go to customer governance ERP UI, you search for a customer. By default, it is considered as a customer creation. Okay.
Okay.
But if you go to business partner, it is more generic application. You go to search, you can create a business partner as a org or a group or a person. This is not like create business partner. You have various generic options available. Then you select this organization and then you convert him to a customer role.
Okay.
Now he need to give here now for the requester it doesn't matter for him what is this role, address, bank account details and all these things. Right? He will just give
Yes.
this as a vendor. Okay, and he has to give the email ID of himself. So this is not a mandatory email address. So you might get a requirement, make the email address as a mandatory. So we have various options that we discussed, right? To make this email address mandatory, you'll make this email as a mandatory.
Correct.
Okay, and in the role, you might get an option. You might give a reason here. It's customer request. Okay, let's say if it is a customer request, similarly you will be configuring one more thing here as a vendor request. Automatically you have to derive the roles because the requester will not understand what are these roles. They are from the various departments.
We need to keep the create a custom BP role and we need to keep, correct?
Not required. There are so many standard roles available. So let's say if user selects their customer on the top, the reason why he is creating a business partner, you have to derive FLCU00 and FLCU01.
Mhm.
So this derivation should happen automatically when end user selects this. Now, we might ask you to customize this. So here email is mandatory, right? abc@gmail. If they have a website you'll give. So some clients will say the vendor with whom we are registering, at least he should have a website details. They
Okay.
don't want to call to the vendor and get the details and everything.
Okay.
There's a
This is
prerequisite that we ask for.
company to company, like all the organization detail needs to be updated, then only a customer CR can be created.
See, these rules will come, yeah, correct, but the rules which I'm saying, the website mandatory is something, a rule which will be given by uh, one set of business. Okay, let's say if you are purchasing a big machine, definitely that manufacturer will have a website for him, right? Let's say if you are purchasing an AC, he will be having a website for it. But in this example, if you are saying stationery and if it doesn't have a website, then they will disqualify that vendor request directly, or they will not allow even to raise a request if they don't have a website. This rule comes from the business. Okay, so you can claim saying that the website is not mandatory from the standard out of the box solution. I made it mandatory for the requester. Okay, rest of the fields are not mandatory for the requester. The requester will not give tax information industries because he don't know. He will just say, I know a person whom I'm proposing. Now it's something SRM team has to key in all these details. Now if we click on check, and save, there might be, let's say, if there might be some errors for the requester saying, the FI related fields are not filled, or say FLCU01. No errors, fine. So generally there might be some errors wherein if you want to switch off those errors, I'll go to mdg because the requester life should make happy, easy. Configure properties of a change request step. BP1 P1 requester level. 00 is always requester level.
Correct.
There you come and remove all these basic checks, or you will say everything is warning, so that there won't be any errors for him.
Mhm.
Duplicate check you will make. Validation rules that we implemented, that are implemented in the baddies. Validations rules that are implemented in the BRF if any. Or you might also make something as irrelevant so that those checks will not trigger.
Karthik, this email field address field, we can make it mandatory in that you have showed at UIBB screen. We can go to get data method, and there we can write a code to make it mandatory.
Correct.
Or there
Or
is
even if you
other.
make it so that mandatory in ECC, it will automatically reflect here.
Okay, okay.
See
And
now,
So
role we
even
Karthik,
have
if
to
it,
create in PFC,
sorry,
no, you said
and
like
this role we have to create in PFCG.
not rule. I'm saying if we are doing a field properties in ECC level, saying this email is mandatory in the BP at ECC level, in SPRO, cross application. This is again something a function will do. Business partner, screen configuration, and field configuration. So there are various possibilities to manipulate the field properties based on the role, client, activity, business partner type. So generally it goes with the business partner type. Sorry, business partner role.
Okay, okay.
So let's say if a field is marked as mandatory here, okay, that field will be automatically mandatory in MDG as well.
Oh, okay, okay. So all the
Okay,
rows they have created, and we can customize here which field can be mandatory, and what is in ACC, it will reflect the same in MDG.
exactly. The same applies with MM as well. Same apply
Okay.
with finance also. So that's one thing. So now because I marked everything as warnings, I don't see any error for the email field now. Earlier email was a mandate. I
mandate.
don't see
Okay.
any. We submit the request. Okay. So here requester should not have any role related fields. He should be having this basic data. So how do we customize your um, request application only for the requesters? So what you do is you will do an enhancement. So here you can add a CBA, context based adaptation, right? So you give the CR type and the step equals to 00.
One.
Okay, I think already there is one for BP1B1. Let me delete this. Oh, it's a standard one. Okay. I'll go to this CBA. Here in the main page,
Rules. Address.
I'll remove the UAVs which are not required. So let me save this and show you whether this is not impacting the other CBAs.
Karthik, in the similar way, can we add this UBB? Like, see, currently we deleted. If
You can
we
do, you
want
can do
to,
it. Yeah. You can do it.
like, if the system get unstable, then we'll create the same UBB and we'll assign. Correct?
Correct. To remove it, we might not necessarily go and change this. We can also set some of the properties here.
Hide might be. Visible you can.
Okay, this one.
Hidden but processed.
Okay, then we don't get an error as we are getting. So this is something we are getting in this application saying, the fields are being mandatory, some dependent fields.
Text number.
So this way we'll do the enhancement of a UI as based on the CBA. Only for the requesters we need to hide them.
Mhm.
Okay. So sometimes what happens is for the requesters, so they might receive all these details to an SRM lead in email. It's a different customer scenario I'm talking about. Okay. They will receive all the details from my email. So SRM lead is a representative who will take all the emails and they will raise a requested MDG portal. So first two steps will not be there for the in the process flow then, because all the details are coming in an email to SRM lead.
Correct.
So that time you would require all these UAVs in the application. Right. So once it comes to an SRM lead, he will take the details here. So mandatorily he has to give the phone number, email ID, and all the stuff. Okay. And he submits the request. It goes to SRM lead. Now he should have an action approve reject. So in each step in between there should be an email notification to everyone. So once the manager is approved, it should send an email to a vendor saying you have been registered as a vendor in our portal. So how do we get a vendor email ID? From this page again. So we will take the CR number. From the CR number, you'll get this data,
Mhm.
and to this email address, you will send an email saying you have been registered as a vendor with us. And an email should
Okay,
go to
so
the requester. Yeah.
in USMD 120C table, we check the detail of email address, and this
No,
email notification will go via body.
no. Once to see, you don't get the vendor email address, right? It will be there in the staging table.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But you will get the requester from the USMD 120C table. You have a CR number. You will go to USMD 120C. Let's say the BP1
Hmm?
2866. Now here, created by will be always the requester. Created by. Okay. And a person who has did an action, approve or reject anything, he will be the changed by. So you will get the details from this table to identify who is a requester.
Right. And the email notification, we have to implement body for that.
Correct. We need to implement
Okay.
verified.
Okay. Okay.
So I'll pass the username here. It will give me a record with the address information. So from where does this read this data? This will read the data from user data. So there will be an email ID which will be assigned to a user here. Every SAP user will have an email ID. So I'll pass the username and I'll get the user email ID from here to send an email.
In this, we are not considering the HR master data. Correct?
Not HR master data, not required.
Oh,
So you are seeing here parameters from this tab, 3 parameters. uh, so profiles, you are having so many profiles. You would be seeing these 161 profiles here. Activity groups 117, nothing but roles. These are all the roles which you are seeing here. Similarly, this is telephone. So here we'll get it. Okay, it's okay. We have various function models to do it. So ultimately, you'll get the email ID from this and you'll send it to him. So the logic can be anything. Maybe we can directly refer to the table where it stores the address related communication table and we can get it. So sometimes they can have multiple email IDs which they'll maintain here. So we need to read all these email IDs. So this is from a vendor master perspective, how it happens. So let's say once vendor got a request and email, requester got an email, purchasing team should also get a notification saying, hey, from now on, we can purchase these materials which have been recently approved by this vendor. Sorry, we recently approved by a manager, so that we will do a new purchasing from this new vendor. So they should also get a new notification, purchasing team. And obviously, a representative should also not have a notification. This is purely, their business process. That every new request, even though it's been approved, it should notify to an SRM representative. Now, error notification. So after approval, for them it was a hub deployment scenario. Automatically, the data has to replicate to the respective system. So for that, we have created one more step in between replicate vendor. In a BRF plus application, we configured data replication framework related step, which is 4. So this 4 will replicate the data to target systems.
Correct.
Okay, in case there is any error, we should send an email to a department. They have created an this error notification related email address. So any errors will report to that email. Then they will understand, okay, there is an error, and it will shoot a supporting email to a support team to rectify it.
Okay. No, Karthik, just one scenario if I'll take, cannot be in this way like the replication will be first. Okay. After manager approves, the replication will be there. Then a mail trigger will be there. So the system stability will be there because here all the vendor requester purchasing SRM got the notification. Yes, vendor has been created and ready to buy, but the replication has not been done into ECC system. So this will
I
not be.
understand. So I
Yes.
understand. See, but from the manager perspective, once he approved it, right, his job is done.
Okay. Okay.
Immediately, sometimes what happens, vendors, this manager will also coordinate with the vendor. Hey, I'm approving the request. You would have been getting an email notification right now. They
Okay.
will do the phone conversations and they'll do an approval, and they don't get an email. Then there's a concern raised by this manager.
Okay.
So the
Okay.
vendor has to be registered,
Mhm.
and let's say if it is having an replication failure, it's a technical gap. So immediately error notification will be received with high priority to the team to verify it.
Verify it. Okay.
Because of the
Okay.
technical issue, there should not be any delay in the business process, any gaps in the business
Correct.
process.
Okay.
That was the idea.
Okay. So it's a no. It's a. I understood. It's a complete business scenario where it's
Correct.
a different way we cannot do that. These steps.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever you made a very valid statement. Ideally, it should be after activation. Okay, but since it's a business process, we have went with their approach.
Yes.
Uh, and rollback, Karthik,
So
what scenario
anyone who
which
rejects the request, right? Anyone who rejects the request, there should not be any data even in your staging tables, right? The request has to complete without any changes. So that's where it's a rollback.
okay.
Reject means you are stopping the process of a CR. You're rejecting it. So there should not be any data even in the staging table. After approval also you don't have any data in staging table. After rejection also you don't have any data in staging table. Okay, so recommended process we have some customization. Okay, so we don't replicate the vendor immediately to a target system. The recommended vendors, they will approve everything in MDG hub system. Okay, approval process will complete, but they don't replicate it to target system. We told them it will be a manual replication. Okay, so let's say if some other person is also referring to the same vendor, there should be some duplicates which has to be prompted by a application, right? So, same example, stationery, there are two different persons who are trying to create a two different, two same vendors. Now, sometimes what business will say, SRM representative will say, right now we are going smooth with the existing vendors without doing any qualification process. No issues, high quality. We will take your request, but we don't create a vendor in SAP. We will make it as recommended. That means in further, is there if any requirement, we'll actually create a vendor for with him.
Mhm.
If there is no requirement, we don't create any vendors. Okay. So for that, what they'll do after manager approval, we don't activate the change request. We will just keep it's been approved. But when they click on replicate, then we will replicate the data from MDG hub system to uh, a business system. That's where the actual vendor will be created in the ECC system. So for that, we need to introduce a new change request status. Approved to be replicated is something which is available with the standard. But they want recommendation completed, awaiting to be replicated. They want a new state. I mean, they want to see the status like that. So we have configured a new status in the approval process. So there is a scenario. A vendor can be one-time vendor. That means they'll use this vendor for only one-time registration. After that, they don't use this vendor. Maybe a local vendor. They don't have much qualification process for him. So let's say if they wanted to purchase a screw or a bolt, and which is emergency, they will just go into the market, get the details from a vendor, and get this purchase a screw or bolt, and that expenses has to be registered in the system. So they'll take the invoice slip, they'll come to the system, they'll raise all those details, and they'll create as a one-time vendor. It will have a different account group. So the process is different here. One-time vendor has a different process, recommended vendor has a different process, and vendor
Karthik,
registration has a different process.
then the vendor type should be different, correct? For this, when we are selecting a vendor creation, so in that different type of different type of vendor we can create, choose, correct?
Exactly. The vendor type will be different. So this
Okay.
can be achieved in two ways. One, when they're requesting itself based on this vendor type. Vendor type means here it will be an account type here. Since this is our system, we are not seeing, there will be like one-time vendor here,
Correct.
or a permanent vendor, or individual vendor, something like that there will be. So based on this group, we need to change the workflow. This is one way that we can do. Based on some field value, we need to determine the workflow. Or
Mhm.
they were already using some custom application, okay, which is developed by some .NET and PHP. There, they are getting an option whenever they are trying to create a business part vendor.
Mhm.
They are getting an option in the pop-up, similar like how we get an option in the pop-up. So what we did was we have created a pop-up. That means for the same business activity, we have created multiple CR types. The moment you click on organization, you will see one-time vendor here, permanent vendor, local vendor, foreign vendor,
Mhm.
and individual vendor. So you select that process accordingly, the workflow will change. And they're happy with this because they're getting the similar kind of an application with the existing one.
Okay.
Okay, so this is based on the vendor master. Now let me go to the material master. Now these are all templates which we are getting. I have created based on the Excel which I have here. A customer has his branches in 3 different countries. Total 57 workflow templates for material creation. Just to create a material, there are 58 different workflow templates. Why we are having 58 templates? So let's say in each country, the business is different, tiles is different, porcelain is different, and sanitary is different. Stores and space is different. There are 4 different departments who are individually running their businesses. So the departments are individual, then obviously the governance board is also different, right? So tiles will have their own approval
Yes.
process,
Yes.
and each tiles again there are various scenarios. So the tiles is something that whether it's a granite tile, that process is different. A texture tiles will have a process different. And new tile innovation for a product is different. I mean R&D department process is different. So new tiles will be an R&D process. So the process is different for each line of business. That's where we have so many workflow templates. Steps. Request starts from the step 1. It goes to the next level, third level, fourth level, and fifth level. So we identify total how many levels are there. There are possibilities of having total 6 levels maximum across all the templates. So what we did was we created total 6 steps, and based on the scenario we have skipped some of those steps in between. Let's say if I am taking the 6th record, I hardly require 2 steps, but the second step is a final step, right? Now the moment requester submit a request, what we'll do is we'll take this head of sales username from this place to this place directly. I mean, we will bypass the other steps. We will jump to a 6th step. How do we jump? By implementing the body of dynamic agent. So we will get the CR number inside, and we know this is coming from a production scenario with the new range. When we say new range, it's a material type. If this is the material type, based on the CR, we'll read the material type. And the moment request is submitted, before it triggers a step 2, before it triggers a new step, it will trigger this baddie because it has to modify the usernames. So there we can say the new step is not 2, but the new step is 6. Okay, so it will skip second, third, fourth, and fifth in between.
Okay.
And you'll set the new status. And who are the users? Then obviously the users are not available at the sixth step. We are saying head of the sales related users. So whatever the users we got it from head of the sales, we will manipulate with the sixth step. We will append those users in the CT underscore user agent group. So in this we'll add those records. So automatically sixth step will be the final step. He will have approve and reject options. So that way we are dynamically changing the steps. But we have strict ourselves to make only one template which is having total 6 steps. Based on the scenario, we are changing the templates.
Karthik, Sambir here. Could you please repeat the difference between these two parameters, CV new step and CT user agent group step? I got
Yeah.
confused.
The customer don't wanted to give an MDG support to an MDG team. Okay.
Yes.
Only
Yes.
implementation they wanted to do. So support activities, they don't wanted to recruit an MDG developer, or they don't want to give this project to someone, a different person, which is a cost for the project. So they requested us to convert the MDG into an ABAP flavor because they have an ABAP team internally.
Okay.
Okay. So
Yeah.
what we did was we have designed total 6 steps as a global template. Any one scenario out of this 58 templates should fall under these 6 steps only, not more than, less or more out of it, right? So less than it can have, but maximum it can have 6 steps. A requester will always start with step 1. So what is the second step is a question, whether the second step would be at a second level or the third level or a fourth level or fifth level or sixth level.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So
to set a new step, we need what is the scenario and who is the current step executing this. Like, we identified in the BRF plus single validation table, right? What was the previous step and what was the previous action? Based on that, we'll identify next step.
yeah. Yeah.
Similarly, here, what was the previous step, what was the previous action, and what was the previous department? If it is that country, that line of business, and that scenario, then the next step is not second, but the next step is somewhere 6. 6 is the final
Step
step.
number.
So yeah, so I need to move this person from step number 2 to step number 6. I can do it by setting a new step as 6.
Okay. So here in this parameter, you will directly pass the step number as 6, right? Of
Correct.
CV underscore new step. Okay.
Correct.
What is the type of that of this parameter? Is that like a numeric type or a character type?
Car 2. Car 2.
Okay, so yeah, okay, we'll directly assign the next step which we feel, yeah, if it is 6 or yeah, whatever.
Yeah. And we will add the user details like this: agent group, step type, what is a name. So what we'll do, we'll just assign the role as a sales head. That comes from the HR master, HR org unit details.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, Karthik.
And there is one more customer who don't want to go with the HR master because they are saying the roles and responsibilities in a plant are dynamic. Today I might be responsible for one plant. All of a sudden I'll get a call from a different plant so that I need to go and fix the issues there, which will not reflect in HR portal. I'm doing a multi skill sets here. Even though if it is reflecting in HR, it will take months time. Those are not synchronized. So they don't want to go with the HR portal, but their security activities are synchronous. So they want to go with an SAP security things. So at each level, we have configured an SAP security. Yeah, please go ahead. Someone had a question.
Yeah, Karthik, I just had a general question. For example, if this method in the body might be getting used in other implementations also, I mean, like we can find out like what is the code written like from where use list or something of that kind of. If
Yes,
we
we
just
can go
want to
ahead.
know, can you just show once? I mean, like if this same method has been used somewhere else, just to know like where exactly these could be used.
No, you're asking me to show this implementation logic.
Yeah, Karthik, I just wanted to know, for example, if this particular method get dynamic agents that might have been used in some other implementations of body also, then if we want to know for our curiosity, like
It's a
what
custom. It's
could
a
be.
custom body. What is it, Karthik is showing?
Correct. It's a custom body. See, the logic can be anything. See, importing parameter, you have a CR number. I'll show you that. So the logic,
Yeah, always based on the CR number only, it will.
you
Uh,
have to fetch it.
yeah.
Exactly. So the change request API, you pass the CR number to it, it will give you the change request instance. And then you say you read the change request data. It will get all the CR attributes from 120C, USMD 120C.
Okay.
And based on the CR type, if you want to get the data model, this is the instance. Change request API, get data model from CR type. We'll get the change request instance. And this is how you send write a logic to send an email. You'll set the body of an email.
Okay. Okay. Yes.
There will be something called set subject also. Yeah. By calling this logic, it will send an email. We'll write some string here in the body and subject in the email subject here. Yeah. So how do we implement this, Betty? First, we need to. This is a system call, Betty, right? So let me show you an example. This is an example of a parallel workflow. I have taken two examples. Okay. One, the requester submits the request. It will go to the reviewer. Reviewer approved it. Let's say this is related to vendor itself. Okay. So the moment reviewer has approved it, it should go to the finance team to enter the company code data, and it should go to the purchasing team to enter the purchasing organization data, right? So in finance, again, they had two levels, level 1 and level 2. But purchasing, they have only one level. So if the finance has approved it, the final approval, and the purchasing final approval has approved it, only then it should go to the activation. It will come to this dummy and then it will activate it. Once it is activated, it will complete the workflow. If both of them approved it. If any one of them has rejected it, it will come to this rejection. It will roll back and complete the workflow. Now, if any one of the person has sent it for revision, it is for reject, it is for approve, and this is for revision. It will go back to the initial requester, not to the previous. Let's say if you send it back, it cannot go back to the dummy step. It has to go to the initial reviewer. This is a little complex workflow. Yeah. Any questions on the workflow design?
No, Karthik, it's much more clear.
Okay. So for this, what we need to do is we need to introduce. Yeah.
Karthik, here one thing, like from 0 1, that dumb, then you are separating. No, not from here. The other one, the other side. Moved little bit right hand side, Karthik. Yeah, 0 1. This one. Then you are having a point. One side it is going to reject, and one side as approval. Correct?
Correct. And one side has a revision.
So from the rejection, again you are taking to 60. What I understood.
Rejection to rollback. rejection to rollback, and then it's 60.
Okay. Then after that, when I see here, you quickly see both side and here rollback, it is coming and staying. It will not complete the workflow, or this
So
is
it
the
is coming
completion.
after rollback. The
Ah,
arrow is going towards the completion, right?
okay, okay. The
It
rollback.
will complete the workflow.
It will be completed and nothing will be stored in staging table.
Exactly. So how do we build a workflow which is parallel? Okay, this requires one baddie implementation and two dummy steps for mandate. Okay, a baddie implementation is must and should for this, and two dummy steps.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Hello, Karthik. Actually, by default, the if you reject, it will be go to previous step. Okay, but in this scenario, it will go to the requester. In which step it will be for a reject or something or revision.
See, take this as an example. Okay, the finance step, done which I'm highlighting. Okay,
Okay.
so here this person does 21 step. He can approve, reject, and he can send it for revision.
Some
Yeah. So when this person says reject, he is not accepting the vendor to be part of the company code at all. So no matter even the purchasing is approving it, the vendor should not be created. He has his own reasons, right? Send for revision, it can go back to the previous person. Now the question comes when to send, what happens if the reject is performed? What happens if the send for revision is performed? Reject means it's a hard stop to the request. The request will not proceed anymore further. Okay, send for revision, it's purely the scenario based. In this case, the send for revision will go back to the previous step called 20.
Okay.
But at the 20, if we send it back for revision, where it has to go? It should go to the reviewer, because previous person for him is review, right?
Okay.
For step 20, it should go to the reviewer.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's where we said here at the step number, if 20 or 21 equals to reject, else it is a resubmission. 20 or 21 they can do reject, both of them they can do reject, but 20 he can only do resubmit.
Okay.
Okay, and 21 he can do approve and he can do reject, since we have said here the reject is possible, and he can send it back for the revision to directly back to step number 21, sorry, step number 20.
So all are achieved by BRA plus. Okay.
All are by BRF plus.
get the
So how
BRF.
does the workflow will look like? So first we need to understand this is a step, background step. This is used to split the workflow process into two, this one and this one. 15th step is a step which will split the workflow into two halves.
So we have two agent groups.
Yeah, and there is a baddie which we will implement. The baddie will trigger if this step and this step, both of them has approved, then it comes to complete, right? The moment it comes to complete, the baddie will trigger the parallel merge step. So in the baddie, we will say the new step is starting from one more dummy step called 01. So let me show you that.
Here, which body will implement?
Yeah.
Which body we will implement here? This call system only.
No, no, no. This one.
Okay, parallel result.
Here we are saying if step 31 or step 22, if they are performing an action called reject, okay, we are saying the merge step is what? 01. We are fixing the step called 01 and merge action. What was the action to which the merge is happening? The action was reject. Reject was an action. So this will resemble like the due to that bad implementation, it will come and call this step dummy step, and we have 21 and 30. Sorry, 31 and 22.
Karthik, where the logic is split into one CR to two step, where that logic?
I'll show you that as well. So right now here I'm showing 31 and 22. If both of them or any of them, any one of them say reject, it will set the reject action 04 and the new step is 01. It is setting the reject action and the new step is 01. Okay. Now, else if the action is 06, this is sending back to the previous person. If the action is approve, then this is an approve action. SRV means send for revision. Okay. If any one of the person says, send for revision, it will go back to the, here if we say it will go back to the previous step, but here or here, if someone says send for revision, that means this guy or this guy does send for revision, it will complete the step and it will come to the dummy step, then it will be going back to the resubmission step here, RES. So let's see how the BRF plus template will look like for this.
Karthik, I'll
First
ask
I
you
look,
one thing.
yeah,
I just got like see, we created a BRF, correct? With all the yes, previous steps and all that. Then w- we are not handling with the BRF. We are handling the workflow via coding level, or we are handling via this BRF complete workflow.
we
No,
are
see, I have
having,
not done the practice.
yeah, we are handling completely via PRF, but for only one step,
Okay,
to implement
that
one step, we are using a baddie. Only one step.
okay.
Okay, so let me show you these options. So 0, 0 will reach to 10, right?
Correct.
0, 0 is a step which is coming to 10.
Correct.
Now after 10, 10 can have two options, approve or
Two.
reject. Okay,
Correct.
so 10 will, let's say he approved it. It is going to a dummy step called 15. This 15.
Correct.
There we are saying it's a merge type called B, and this is a merge parameter. This is a baddie service name. Okay, so
Yes.
when we give this merge type and merge parameter, this will understand that this is a split step. Split is happening here. Okay,
Okay.
we need to give this. B means it's baddie.
Yes.
It's a service name. Now, after it goes to 15, 15 will have two steps. Parent step is 15 equals to 1. Parent step is 15 equals to 2. 15 is splitting into 1 and 2. Okay. And what is 1 leading to? It is leading to finance step called 20. This one. And the other one leading to purchasing step 30. This is where the split is happening. The key point for us to understand how the split is happening. One, for the dummy step, we are saying it's a merge type parameter. And for the same dummy step, we are splitting the dummy step into 2. By giving the change request parent step and parallel agent to group. We can have the same thing for 3 branches, 4 branches.
Okay.
So let me take 20. If 20 he executed a positive action, it goes to 21. Okay, here it is going to 21. 20 executed a positive action goes to 21. If 20 he is sending for revision or is rejecting it, we are saying it is going to completion. Similarly, 21. Now let's say if 21 he is sending for revision, it should go back to the previous person. That's 20. Right? Similarly, 30. Now, from 1 we need to understand. So, 1 is a step which is not given anywhere as a new change request step here. Like how 0 is starting from MDG application, 1 is also a starting pointer. Then who will trigger this one step? This is where I was saying the baddie will implement. We are implementing this baddie to trigger that mud step called 1.
Okay. Okay. Table step.
Okay, this mud step will call this one from here. Again, this will be a same parallel, same BRF plus workflow. The key point for us to understand BRF plus is this highlighted part from where it gets triggered and how do you split it and where do you split it. This will give you an answer where do you split it, and how many you will split it. This will give an answer, and where do you merge it. This will give an answer for that.
So Karthik, here in 01 also we have to mention merge type B and body parameter.
Not required. Not required. This is not for splitting, right? This is to merge.
Yes.
You don't require that.
Yeah. So for merging, we required any body?
Yeah, this is the body we are discussing. Merging parallel agent group. Parallel results in the rule-based workflow.
Okay, okay. I mean, in the system, we have to mention in this step against this step that we are using body and merging. Like
Not required.
we
Not
have to
required. Not
not
required
required.
to merge.
Okay, okay, okay.
Right.
Hello, Karthik. Can you show how to split that on in coding? Where that split happening?
Split is not happening in coding.
Okay.
You just tell this one, automatically system will split it.
Oh, in that implementation coding is there. JS.
No coding is there. So this baddie is not, it is not a baddie, this is a service name. Let me show you
Oh,
this.
but that service name should call somebody, na?
Just a minute.
So in that service name, you should give some filter value. That is
Correct.
in filter value,
This,
but it will be going to some coding part. Okay, in that coding,
see, don't assume the things here. It is not a coding part. By saying this, what happens is this is one of the service name. Okay, this is one of the service and this is not a baddie name. Now this service name will pass when the complete step is happening. When the complete step is happened, right? Both have approved that dummy step where exactly we have split it, right? So we are saying merge type is a service name. This is a service name. So using this service name, automatically a baddie will be called. Wherever the service filter is saying sd underscore para underscore merge baddie, that implementation will call. So this merge type parameter will not call a baddie to split. This merge type parameter will call a baddie to merge the records and identify what is the next step is. Understand, this is not a split baddie, this is a merge baddie. Which implementation
Okay,
has to trigger?
then
We
where
are
the
saying,
split?
see, we are saying at the split, we are saying where you have to merge.
okay, okay, okay.
Okay. In
So
between,
in the split
whatever
only,
your workflow process, it's up to you. It's up as per the design. But at the split, we are saying here my process being splitted, and we are also saying at exactly that point, maybe the point is whatever it can be, the level 1, level 2, level 5, anything. But the merging should happen here. So to identify what is the next step, we need a baddie implementation, right? That's something we have seen. Parallel results. So that will have this value as a service filter. Okay.
Karthik, when it will go to dummy 15, it will be finance data department go to the finance data and purchase department have to go to purchase data to approve. So it will be how this is happening.
It is happening with this configuration.
Okay.
I'm giving two different parallel agent groups.
Okay.
In non-user agent table, 15 is the step where we are splitting it, right?
Yes.
Dummy, we are saying
That's the point I want. Okay. Mhm.
agent to group 1, process pattern 02, agent to group 2, process pattern 02.
Hmm.
But inside this, you don't have any logic. It's a simple, plain, empty implementation. You don't have any logic inside. It is just
Oh,
a
okay.
split.
Okay. That's why I want these things. Okay, I got it.
Yeah,
so these two agent groups are implying the split, and there only we are mentioning the service name so that when there is merge, they will refer the service name and they will merge automatically because we are providing the service name in the split itself. Okay, okay.
exactly. So here, do not get confused with the service name. Okay, here the service name is mandatory for 02 process pattern. If you have 02 with the service name, it will throw an error. In system call baddie, you don't implement any logic. You will just implement as plain implementation with empty code. You don't do any logic, but you will just set this filter. Why? We are splitting it here. That's the reason. Splitting does not require any codification to done in the background. It knows from where exactly it is splitting. It knows after 10th step, the 15, we are splitting it into two different groups. Here we are saying, let's say if I'm splitting it, when exactly I need to merge it is what we are referring here. This require a logic, a piece of logic in a backend. That piece of logic is, the merge part, this one. See here, I'm having a service name, sd underscore panel underscore merge baddie. From where I'm getting this? I'm getting it from the split step. Let me upload and see this workflow template in the system directly. Since we add the service name here, it will come here automatically. Let me put a breakpoint here and show you. I'll go to the business partner governance. I'm just uploading this workflow templates into the system. Configure rule-based workflow. Change BBBRF. Decision tables. User agent. Single value. And override. Activated. Non-user agent. Okay. Value exits more than 3. And user agent. Hope so far you're following me, right? Any questions in between?
Yes, Karthik.
User agent. This is not activated. So let me go till um, the split step. Okay, so now you should be fine to change this business partner. I think this is the parallel one. Just a moment. Here, type process business partner parallel. Yeah. So now from the requester, I got it for send for revision and completion for your review. So I click on complete review. It should trigger the split step, the step which we are talking about. From the complete review, it should trigger this step. So here there is a split which will happen between 20 and 30.
30. Yes.
Yeah. So let me open this BRF also once. Then will trigger 15 and 10 should have a parallel mud step. Dummy. It has a body and mud step, right? So the 10 record is absolutely fine. And 15 is something we are saying parent step 001, parent step 002. So this should be fine for us to proceed forward. Say complete review. Two, 868. We got what calls synchronous method error. Thursdays in Colmedy. Okay. So let me showcase this. Uh, you guys are okay? Shall we do this next week? Because I need to check with the admin why the debug authorization is not there for it.
Okay, Karthik. If something that is to be done by the basis, then
Yeah, because I mean the concept wise this is same. I just want to show you run it's a end-to-end cycle to show how this parallel workflow will run. But the concept wise that should be, there is no difference in the concept. I just need to show you quickly in the system. And there is this recording as well, which I have created for UI modeling. So initial 13 minutes is what the actual UI modeling stuff. Yeah, initial 13 minutes,
okay.
which shows that you can create a change request and all the thing. And after 13 minutes, the rest of the thing, again I did a revisit, a step-by-step process, one more time. Each step, what you have to do, and what you will achieve by doing that step. Okay, so this link again I'll provide it to you now. I mean I need to check because that last time I also heard that the link which I provided has some issues. Is it true? Because the other day when
Yeah,
we discussed, you're able to download the files.
no,
The link which I shared last time, a common drive, you said
yeah,
you're able
yeah,
to download them,
yeah, we were able to download it. Earlier, if something,
transfer
yeah,
them.
yeah, through Equid software, we were trying to download, but it was not done. Then you have given the directly the link, then we could able to download it. Yeah, the
You're able
same
to
way if you
download,
can,
right?
yeah, yeah, we were able to download.
Okay, fine.
If you give
So
the direct link, that could be the easiest way instead of going through institute.
fine. So I'll just give this document as well, and this parallel workflow also I'll give because this is something like a POC that we have done. It has two scenarios: submission, email step. This is one more scenario which you even you can claim that you have did this kind of a project in your experience. Each step has an email in between. Two scenarios I have in this document, and from your chat. So next week, what I'll do before I come to the session, right? So I'll quickly, run through all these things. Now, see, enhancement, guys, related to, FPM UI, this cannot be done in practical. You have to do it by yourself. These things are there in the documents. Please follow through this document because each one will take an additional, it's not about only UI enhancement. For me to do the UI enhancement, I have to do the data model enhancement. And data model enhancement does not directly come. I have to do the Mara Marcy table enhancements in the backend or are interlinked.
Yeah, I understand, Karthik. But the thing is, if you are referring some documents, now just you go through the document for 5 minutes or 6 minutes about each every scenario, so that you get some confidence. If you tell, if something comes from you, you feel that okay, this is
Okay,
how we have
fine.
to do. Yeah,
I'll do that.
that way.
So
Yeah.
I'll do that. I do that way. So which step you have to do, what is the result of in each step, I'll do that. No
Mm.
problem in doing it. Okay. I'll do this too.
Mm.
And this one don't expect from my side. If you want to see how SOA related outbound implementation you want to implement in DRF, I already showed that. Maybe if you want, I can give one more touch base. But SOA configuration is something, that itself will take, 20 hours. SOA
Okay.
configuration is a vast topic. It's purely related to, cross applications, not related to MDG component. And I do have some sample CVs. Okay, let me share those sample CVs also right now. I'll take these points because I lose this again.
Karthik, can you again explain validation and derivation? Actually, I doubt all others I can, but in the class also, like I saw the videos, derivation and validation, where to like configure. How a small example can you show? Like I'm not able to understand.
I mean, if you don't have any timing constraints now itself, I can show. But generally, uh, are you okay with extending ourselves, or we can have that next session?
I am okay, but For others,
For me
so
also
everybody
okay,
is
but
okay now.
for me also okay. If even if it is on next week also, it's fine for me. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, yeah. For me also same.
How about this, guys? If the question is very specific to you, yeah, we can have this discussion now. If others do not have, but if there's something that everyone wants to have a call on this, maybe I need a confirmation from others as well.
Yeah, everyone needs it. Karthik. Maybe you can
Yeah,
take it next week. Not a problem.
yeah, next week would be okay because yeah, I think we can discuss in detail about that.
Yeah.
Correct. Karthik, yeah, I think so. Next week, by the time, yes, we'll discuss. See, we'll discuss and we'll have a single point only. We'll not keep our project inside this conversation. Just a general view, like whenever we are having the issues. See, I'm not using the uh, our provided system, but in my project, which system I have got, I am doing the analysis in that only, what you have trained, and I'll do some R&D in that only, and with that only a specific question I'll bring.
Should no problem.
Yeah, Karthik, same thing even I wanted to ask that if while doing practical, I'm also not using that system, but if I face some issue, can we discuss that in the class so that like I can get it rectified?
No, because problem is, Karthik, I can, like, most of the time we'll be in the office and we are having plenty of time, but we cannot connect to external system. The
Mm-hmm.
problem is that only. So we are using, we can do one thing. If a very specific will be there, I can recreate the scenario into the Accusoft system provided to us.
Okay, fine, no problem. Okay, so take your time. So if you have any issues, you let me know. I'll able to fix them. Not even sometimes, let's say you're getting an issue, you don't need to create the entire scenario immediately in Accusoft system. Okay, so you tell me where exactly you're getting an issue. I'll be able to assist you. If it is not working, then we'll create a scenario in the Accusoft system, because
Sure.
I don't want your efforts also waste unnecessarily. Yeah, because to
Yes.
create a scenario, I understand how much time it takes.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay,
so
Karthik.
you directly let me know, and we'll discuss. And one more
Sure,
thing, so
Karthik.
in between, if you have any interview related stuff, right? So let me explain that in next the coming 5 minutes, because people who are looking for an interview, they will get a advantage of having this. See, first, for interviews, do not select any, even though you're not prepared now, prepare once and select the job profiles which you don't wanted to join, maybe far from your place, or attend any uh, job portals from from other countries, people who would be just accepting your profiles because on the need basis. And then you give a shot for say 5 or 6. Definitely in one interview, in this 4 to 5 interviews, you'll get a clear expectations what a market is looking for. They would ask for the data model, they would ask for any custom solution, or they would ask for any enhancements, right? So once that is done, I'm telling you, definitely there will be an ask, especially on the material master and the business partner master. Definitely there will be an ask. How do you enhance an entity in material master, and how do you enhance an entity in a business partner?
Yes, Karthik. I was asked that question
Yeah,
in
definitely
my
there will be
training.
an ask. Okay, until unless you say that I have completely worked on the custom model, that's the only model which you have worked on, then you don't have any other because you need to deviate the interviewer from your into your boundary rather than we go into his area of expertise. So recently we have also come across one solution that we went for locally. It's an Indian solution. You know about MCA? MCA.government.in. So they have various services here where someone can register a company here. Yeah. So LLP is one of the service. Now, if you look at this fields, LLP name is a company name, active or inactive or registration number. All these things are more or less related to a customer or a vendor or a business partner organization. Every person will have, every company will have a registration ID. Like customers have, vendors have vendor registration ID. This is a registration ID that every company should register themselves. So they want a solution and governance solution to implement similar like vendors, customers. This is something like commercial registrations. The data is commercial registration data. There is no standard SAP out of the box solution. So you can say that that we have built a solution for one specific country. Say you can uh, say for UK, or you can say India itself, that you have done a project for this commercial registration where you have captured most of the fields from a business partner. BP was used as one of a role called commercial registration role, and you have done a small custom development. This is one new scenario which you can talk about. Or you can say that material light is a very predominant scenario which you can talk about, because so far I have created 5 meter light solutions for the customers. Because as I rightly told, material master does not really require other attributes of mdg solution which we are seeing. They only require short and long descriptions and material classifications as part of material creation scenario. So instead of purchasing the complete solution as a additional cost, customers has went for a light application to build as a custom solution. Okay, so you can tell that you have built this solution, and I hope most of you have OSS login, SAP online support services. Yes, no?
For me, no.
Okay. So in OSS notes, Because when you go for an interview, you can say that I have implemented these notes for that purpose. You might not actually implemented it, but you have went through the description of the notes and you understand what was the scenario, what was the context that SAP has provided that note. So this gives a real-time implementation experience from a interview perspective. They would understand, yes, you have implemented a node, yes, you have come across some issue and you have suggested a node. So this is some way that you can impress the customer, I mean impress the interviewer, saying that you have worked real time. And the another thing would be in the community topics, especially go to the discussions and go through, take any data model and go through a problem statement which someone has raised it. So if you say the problem, a problem for someone else will be the same problem for you as well, right? It's a problem statement for someone else. And see what have been answered. Definitely, I saw one of the points saying, what are the different challenges that I faced and how did you solve the problems? Is one of the concern being raised, right? So this is the problem statement, and the solution is already provided by someone else. So you say that this is a problem statement I faced and this have been solved. This is other way that
Karthik,
you can showcase. Yeah,
please, could you please paste that link in the chat? This,
if you have OSS node credentials, just a moment.
Karthik, this versus note, this is provided by SAP. Like we post any query, like our doubt, for example, which is not solved by the SAP partner. So SAP provide the solution in OSS note, or
Correct.
we can also provide.
No, no, no. Only SAP will provide the solution.
Okay, then we can tell the interviewer that we have gone through the we are facing this problem and we have gone through the SAP this note and we have implemented this note in our project and I have executed this. So this way I will have the scenario also and I can explain also. So this is what you are mentioning.
Correct. But they will ask you what is the
Okay.
note.
Karthik, I have marketplace credentials. If you say, maybe I'll try to put it in the chat.
Yeah, so I can show you if
Yeah,
you have credentials.
yeah, yeah. Let me just look for that. Just give me a moment.
Yeah.
Karthik, the ID is capital S triple zero
Mhm. 000.
7180 366, and password is capital AS underscore 20168.
Is it same? User ID S000.
7180366. Yeah, it is same only, but
Password. Give
what
me
I'm
one more time.
S000.
Password. Password.
Password is AS, capital AS,
Capital A, is it?
under, yeah, capital AS, underscore,
Even S also capital, right? Capital S, capital A and capital
yeah,
S, right?
yeah, capital A and capital S, underscore 20168. Yeah.
Okay, in the knowledge base, we're not getting an expert search. CA hyphen MDG hyphen BP star. Okay, CA hyphen MDG hyphen. You can have all these APP underscore MM. You can have. You can have APP underscore FI. I mean hyphen FI, not underscore. Yeah, expert search. Application AF means application framework. You can see issues anything related to the framework, but not to a solution. But if you want to search anything related to a solution, you should say app BP. Okay, take a recent incident. You sorted by released on. These are all latest issues. Performance improvement for check entity data. Performance improvement for field properties. Wrong account group for multi-assignment during validations. So go to corrections with medium and priority. Correction means SAP has provided a code inside it. This is a recommendation. How do you increase an MDG performance? So just open this guide. You can say that your application is going, the performance is down. So to increase the performance, this is one of the challenges that you faced. You have done so and so steps which SAP has recommended as per that note. You can download it as well. Okay, it is asking the same username and password one more time. You can do it. You can download the note. They're recommending multiple things. CR type. You need to minimize multiple CR type pop-ups and everything so that you'll get some notes. You can also find some relative notes as well here. These are all related. File upload, file download, runtime analysis, SPI, performance, form repeater and binding. So I would recommend you to go through these notes where SAP has provided some corrections. Do not jump into multiple notes, okay? For you to tell the interview, take only one or two scenarios. Understand the problem statement clearly, what is the symptom of the issue, and what SAP has provided is something that you will tell. Similarly, even an issues, the community related concerns which are raised by others, you understand what his problem was and filter wherever the acceptance was there with an answer. Only take those incidents because you'll also have an answer towards it. And take this as one of the scenario and help them. And also you need to do some practice with how to do docs. Okay, so let's catch up in the next week. So today not today, tomorrow I'm traveling back to India. In the morning it would be not possible for me. So next 3 weeks I'll be back in India. So in 3 weeks we can have the discussions if you have any. But I would require one more class to discuss the open, this workflow related custom body developments end-to-end scenario and other points which are mentioned.
And Karthik, you're trying to share the video recording directly through link, I
Yes,
guess.
yes, directly through link I'll share. Okay, because it will take good amount of time to upload.
Okay, then fine, no issues.
Or can you guys see that you can download this? I'm sharing the link.
Yeah.
Can you see that you can directly download a file from this?
Yeah.
This is a different link. I shared in the chat window.
Yeah, I'm checking.
You need to see conversion completed, download.
The latest one, right?
Yeah, the latest one. onlineconverter.com.
Yeah. Mm, mhm,
No, right?
mm,
Fine. I'll upload it and send it to you.
sure.
Karthik, one question, in data model, in referencing a relationship, so it is necessary that that particular field we have referencing because we add a particular attribute, and that attribute can be considered as referencing. So it's necessary that it should be both in the dependent and not dependent, both the tables we should have that attribute, or in any entity we can have that attribute and mark it as referencing.
In any entity we can have
Okay.
it. It is not mandated that it should be on 2 or 3. It can be on 1, and that one entity can be a type 1 or it can be a type 4.
Okay. Actually, this was the interview question in one of my interviews, external interviews.
Hmm.
But
See, some of see
I
it
told the
also
same.
it is also possible that the interviewer also don't know. Sometimes you might come up because these days people who know ABCDs and mdg are running the projects and sitting in interview panel. Okay, so you tell them confidently that I have used type 3 for type 1 and type 4. Both type 1 and type 4 I have used type 3 entity as reference. It is working. I understand that
Okay.
since we are not completely experienced, we might get some challenges, but you can take my words for granted. Okay, it will work definitely.
Okay. Thank you.
Right now I can download.
You
Can you
can?
hear me? Yeah.
Okay.
Right now, maybe it has taken some conversion time. Right now,
Oh, okay. So rest others, can you also please do the same?
yeah.
The other documents I'll upload and share it. That doesn't take much time.
Okay. So same link, same location you're talking about.
No, I'll send a different location.
Okay.
Can you please share the link again, Karthik? Actually, I was disconnected for some seconds and I didn't get the link. Thank you.
Sure, then we'll catch up next week, Saturday.
Uh, okay. Karthik, last week while discussing that content, you got disconnected. It is only 1 minute at time. I don't want to take much time.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
Sorry.
Ethiopia MDG, that is not a separate MDG tool, right? It is same like our MDG only, like in SAP IS Retail kind of
Mm-hmm.
way. SAP
Mm-hmm.
Ethiopia MDG also the way it is enhanced the existing SAP, right? That's what my
Correct.
understanding.
Correct.
Okay, thanks.
Maybe you can just hold for a minute. If you are interested, I can show you the tool as well.
Because I got the project, so I'm really helped.
Okay, you're working on the tool?
No, no, I'm not working on the tool, but their project interview got completed. They're I am supposed to take the project role maybe in the next 2 weeks of time. So meanwhile, I'm trying to gather some related information. What exactly Ethiopia MDG is it kind of extension or it is separated tool? So if it is separate tool, I really don't have any idea. That's it. Karthik, are you supporting any project work kind of thing? No, right? Only trainings.
No, I'm a full-time employee.
Okay. Gentran also pushing some ads. Gentran Tech. Yeah,
Gerantech.
maybe. Geran Tech. Yeah.
Yes.
You're
So
also
I'm
trainer.
the trainer there even.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So there was also a same concern about the. You're the one who raised the concern about the
Yeah, they are
training.
charging 10,000, but these people charge 30K. So,
If you take online training, it would be 45K there.
okay, I don't know that, but they push some ad saying that 9.3K for the
It's
same trainer.
yeah.
Yeah, we have paid 30K here, so that's the reason I am wondering. I might have chosen that, right? So you're the same
No, but
trainer, the sessions.
training videos will not give you the flexibility of interacting with the trainer, and
Oh, okay, I don't know that.
right.
I thought
It's
I
it's
thought
it's
that
a
is kind of interactive. Yeah.
no. Those are just videos, recorded videos. Like I showed you the recorded video. You'll be getting
Oh,
one dedicated video for one session.
oh, okay, okay.
But let's
I'm
say
not
now
able.
you are interacting with me and you're asking about Utopia solutions. You're trying to clarify
Yeah, that's
and
true. Yeah. Yeah, I thought that is when I was discussing with her, he told that interactive sessions, and then I felt like, okay.
yeah. So just a moment. I think the system is not connecting the VPN. I can
Okay,
show
no
it
issue.
some. Yeah. So it's a pure like how we build a custom solution. the same solution what they have built, but it's for a different master. You don't see any challenges there. Okay.
Okay. Thanks. That's only the confirmation. Yeah, you are sending the link now, or you are going to
No,
send
no,
it later?
I'll send it later.
Okay, thanks. No problem.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you all.
Thanks, Karthik.